From the rotunda of the Carnivore compound, deep in the heart of Las Vegas, comes one of Wall Street's Hall of Fame traders, Dutch Masters. Today, Dutch is joined by Carnivore's hand-picked customer protege, who went from being a K-9 cop on the streets of East Tennessee to full-time trader and market strategist, and now heads the Carnivore VIP program. The man who has a guy for anything and always has an answer for everything, even if you didn't ask. Please welcome Godfather.
Hello, everybody. How is everyone? Going ahead and Dutch is just finishing up the wrap right now, the pre-market.
Hello, everybody.
Give me 1 second, and we'll be right back with you. I've got to get rid of this other screen. We're going to get Dutch on here and get rid of the reverb. 1 second. Good deal. Okay, everybody. How is it going? Let me get the chat up here. What's going on, Sal? Let's see who's here today. With purple music. Sorry about that hold music. What'd you think of the suspenseful music? Did you like that a little bit better? Thought that was pretty nice. So go ahead. If you got any questions, please go ahead and get that posted in the stream right now. Definitely appreciate you all showing up. We got a whole bunch of people here, real excited to get this day going. Got Dutchman over here. He is getting ready. He's finishing up the pre-market. What's going on, Dutch?
Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, we're on right now, brother. Yeah, we're waiting on you to send that thing and get on here. Uh, all right, my friend. Talk to you later. All right, yes, dude. I tell you what, man, it gets so exciting when we get big days like this. You know, one of the things about doing this pre-market is this is real time. So you're like, okay, what's going on? Where's Dutch? Well, you know what? What's awesome is these guys are out here and they're combing through, making sure that they don't make the wrong moves because on a day like today, you can actually mess things up pretty big by going into too many things or going into an area that you didn't want to be into, or you get real excited like I do and just overtrade right at the very beginning and then possibly see a little bit of a reversal or anything like that. So what Dutch and Z and Donk do is they go ahead and they look through, try to get past all the noise, get through past all the talking heads that are on television and whatnot. And you got tons of people out there just all with their opinions, and everything just differs from the other one. So it's actually quite interesting to watch the whole system play out. I want to know, was anybody here in Nvidia? Let me know if you were. Were you playing it? Were you long? Did you short it? Did you have any puts, calls? I'll tell you that for those that are in our group, 100%. Oh, okay, good deal. We got a couple people saying that they were in it, so that's great. It's going to be quite interesting. Oh, Maria, in a little. Greg says a little long on it. Steve says long on it. Stewart says, "Oh, been playing it since January. Nice." Third Base Studios, SMCI. Yeah, we're gonna look at that one as well. Oh yeah, look at this. So y'all know what's going on here. Let's see. Got out at 9:40. Okay, good job, Kirk. Depending on when you got in. Okay, last night, Kirk. Were you pre-market or were you post? Did you do it after the earnings? So what I did is I actually went into this. Now this is me personally. This is Godfather for Godfather's account. I've actually put my order in right before the Nvidia earnings came out, but then I got a phone call and it didn't go through. It filled at 995, and I got really freaked out. And my wife told me to just calm down, average into that bad boy, and then she flew up over 1,000. So that was exciting for me. I'm so happy to see that there were carnivores that were playing it. Anyways, that's good to know. If you all saw the wrap, I've kind of got it pulled up right here. Yesterday, we closed out of that Moderna trade, and it was amazing. I tell you what, this is one of the ones that Donk. I don't know if Donk's on here yet. But this was one of the ones that Donk found for us, and pretty interesting story. And of course, like Dutch says and Donk says, it just had all the right criminals that were attached to it. So it was quite interesting. If you did play that, and when it shot up, it was pretty interesting. So there's been some really good trades that have happened along the lines. We're real happy that y'all have been here with us. This has been, since I started with Carnivore, this has definitely been one of the greatest trading environments that we had. In fact, Trader Z was talking to me, was it yesterday or the day before? He was talking to me on what it was like when we're trying to trade, when we're in that market, when it's definitely nothing's working right and everything was just going the wrong way. And that's actually when Dutch made a killing, for those who've been with us for a while, going short and actually shorting the plays. And that was when SQQQ and the SPXUs, when the negative inverses actually used to work like they're supposed to. This is before we kind of got this thought that the market obviously inherently wants to go up, right? The market wants to go up, they want to raise and whatnot, and being short in the market is very difficult. But during that time, it was quite amazing to watch Carnivore and all the carnivores really make bank as it was going down. I had a real hard time, just because I have a hard time being short. So, well, short as a human. So I had a hard time being short, but Dutch really did an amazing job with that. Dutch says he's got pre-market going. He's getting on right now. I'm going to bring Dutch Masters in. So y'all welcome Hall of Fame trader Dutch Masters.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Thanks for showing up. What are we talking about today, Godfather? NVIDIA?
Oh, brother, I tell you what, man, we are talking about Nvidia. We talked about Nvidia. We talked about the trade. We talked about it being over $1,000. And I was just saying that this has been probably the most fun and exciting market that I've been a part of with Carnivore, because we went through that long period of time where we were just kind of going down, and you were killing it on the downtrend, but me being like the perma bull, I mean, before I knew any better, that was very difficult for me. So
Well, 2022, we made money on the short side, but yeah, it's Trader Z, Godfather. They're right. Usually, you want to be on the long side. So, but here's what we've got going on with Nvidia, everyone. Just to get cut right to the chase here. First of all, there could not have been a better announcement here. I mean, not only did they blow away their numbers, but they also raised their guidance, talked about how demand continues to be surprising even to them and off the charts. But then to put icing on the cake, they announced the 10-for-1 split, which I think was just genius. The timing is excellent. That just added, more excitement to the whole thing. The significance to the market is that the semiconductors, when semiconductors rally and lead, they tend to then drag the rest of the tech sector with it. And since the tech sector is critical for the overall market due to its market cap weight in the indexes, it drags the rest of the market with it also. And we needed to see the indexes continue to punch through. They were already setting up and banging up against into new highs. This takes them over into new high territory. This sends off buy signals worldwide on the U.S. stock market. And the rally should continue into the Russell 2000, we think. And as long as bonds stay around 4.5% or less, then we may be seeing the signs that we needed to see in order to go into a raging bull.
Wow.
Now, Stanley Druckenmiller yesterday or day before loaded up or announced that he loaded up on just an absolute ton of call options on the Russell 2000. So he's seeing what we're seeing as well. And, this is the platform that we want to trade on. This is where you want to be long, long, long. And we're sitting with about, 60, 70% of our model portfolio in cash right now because mRNA, which is actually going to peel back here, I think, at the close a little bit. It gave us such a fantastic run that we basically took our profits on that yesterday. We have a huge position in LOAR. That's an aerospace and defense company. And that is a special situation because it hasn't been trading for very long. It's going to open up a good 2 or 3 points here. And we've got a large position in it. So that's going to actually take us into another new high today.
Yeah.
That stock we triggered at 57 and change. It's going to open at 62, 63. And in just one day after we opened up the position, we scaled into it pretty hard yesterday. And it looks like that was a good move because it opens up today. It may continue to run a little bit. People who are in it big, you can take your profits. If we took all of our profits there, then we'd essentially be almost 100% in cash. And that's a good thing because if the market's going to blow up today and just blow off here a little bit, then you can kind of sit there and not chase it. You can wait and decide exactly when do I want and what do I want to buy. And do I do that Friday? Do I do it Monday? And what we want to position for now with this cash, not necessarily today, maybe Monday, is we really want to take that shopping list of rock and roll growth stocks that are going to really smoke in a good bull market. They're going to really they're going to crush it. We want to have a shopping list of 10 of those, maybe 15, put them on a watch list, start scoping for entries. So we're very bullish, obviously, and we're sitting in a lot of cash, and we're going to get a nice move today. SOXL is going to blow up today. That's your leveraged ETF. All the semis are going to move. A lot of the SMCI, MU, Nvidia, of course,
SOXL right there.
AMD, all those, they're all going to run today. today's a good day to, maybe take your profits and on a lot of stuff or let some of your stuff run. I don't know if we're going to add into LOAR or not. We think the stock short term goes from current 60, call it 60, 62. We think it goes to 70. But here's the thing about that stock. It is flat out a blue sky stock. We call it a blue sky stock because blue sky stocks don't have any overhang. There's nothing up above it, nothing but blue sky. That means everybody that owns the stock has a profit. So nobody's really looking to sell just because they, quote, got even.
Right.
And that's what that holds a lot of stocks back. It makes stocks take longer to go higher. We saw that yesterday. That's why we hit it. And then, it's a recently trading stock, an IPO, but it's a $5 billion market cap company that can easily be a $10 billion market cap company. So you could have $100, $120 stock here, and it wouldn't be, pushing the boundaries of what's possible at all.
Right.
Remember, Qualcomm was 105 when we called it 4 or 5 months ago, and it's now over 200.
That's right.
At the time, Qualcomm hadn't done much at all, and now it's sitting there at 200. And when we said that could go to 200 to 250, a lot of people were like, "Hey, man, this thing hasn't gone anywhere for a long, long time. This guy must be, smoking something." And here we are, not very many months later. And by the way, I don't smoke that stuff anyway.
No, I know.
However, it's awful early this morning, and I did find myself actually pouring a bunch of coffee into like a mug that had a bunch of Sprite in it.
I'll tell you, if you ever go to Dutch, now Dutch lives in a beautiful we call it the Carnivore's mansion, belongs to the Carnivores. But if you go up to the turret, if you're trusted that much and you get the nod, bring your own coffee cup up there. He'll have the coffee. He makes it every morning, but there is not a coffee cup.
But I don't always have coffee cups up here, right?
Bring your own cup. So
this is what happens when hippie chick says, "Hey, look, I take care of the rest of this place. You're in charge of that."
That room up there. No, yeah, it makes sense. So I've definitely learned to bring my own cup because he makes it every morning. It's quite interesting. You go up there is coffee, but there is no cups. So I might just do it the Tennessee way and just send a whole bunch of solo type cups over there. They also don't have plastic. No plastic. It's glass and above. There's nothing but the best for the carnivores. But yeah, so I actually had on there right there on our chart. That for the people that are in the wrap, let's see if I can get a better picture of that.
Sproffy.
What's that?
He called it it's Sprite and coffee. It's Sproffy.
Sproffy. I was looking at that right there, that Nike swoosh on the NASDAQ composite. That is, so we have officially punched through, you think, right? I mean, we've now, so there's going to be a little bit of a retracement possibly, or do you think we just rock it?
So, I had an interesting question come through last night.
Yeah.
So I can address the question for the group. We can't give individual advice. He said he's got a guy sitting on a ton of Nvidia. What do I do? And I said, well, I can't give individual advice. That's not what we do. We cross some lines there. But I can kind of paint a scenario here and say, all right, so what if I were in the position where I had a large portion of what I have in that one stock? First of all, it's not good to hang on to that forever, especially when you've got lots of gains. I'm a shorter term trader, so
yeah,
I'm not going to just sit there and hold that for a long time. It's been one of the few rare stocks on the planet, that and maybe Lilly, where you could have just held it for years and made out fantastically. But most stocks tend to give you some big gains and then they take them away if you hang on to them too long. So that's been my experience. So I'm not a buy and hold guy forever.
Right.
But that's just me. Okay. here's what happens with stock splits. A lot of times when you see a split on a stock, a normal stock, and this is not a normal stock, but on a normal stock, you'll see a stock split. You'll actually see the stock sell off on the record date or near the record date afterwards because, instead of 1,000 shares, now they're going to have 10,000 shares. And the institutions will say, well, let's lighten up on that position and take some of those shares off. I don't know why it happens, but it seems to happen a lot where you get a split, you get this euphoric move that we're going to see this morning, and then you see things sell off, okay? And so if you get a euphoric pop like this, hey, you got to sell into that strength if you're a trader, okay? Decide who you are. Are you an investor who's going to ride it down and then ride it back up, and maybe that takes a week or a year or whatever, or 6 months, I don't know. Or are you a trader? Mm-hmm. Are you going to take the profit? And I'm a trader. I see euphoria and I want to sell euphoria.
Yeah.
I see, stocks that are totally blasted down to the bottom and they're not going to go out of business. And they actually have a viable business, and there's blood in the streets on it, and everybody hates the company. I'm more of a buyer when I see that than I am a seller, of course, but that's just me.
I absolutely agree, and I think that's one of the areas too that where we overlap, and is I sometimes use I if it's more than a few days, I get real, because I guess. Not those blue sky stocks like you're talking about. I guess that's one of the best things about them is I'm always so worried that if it's going up, that there's somebody that's just wants to just bag me with it. You know what I mean? I think maybe, and that was probably before I got with Carnivore, we all bring in our own baggage into, right? Just like any relationship. So I bring my old, PTSD in this area. And then, like, there's been times where I've gone into something, and someone's just like dropped the anvil right on my head, and I've just been stuck with it. So I think when they start to raise up, I think that's why I have a tendency to sell, is because I'm just so afraid someone's going to bag me with it. Or it's going to go out of business, and it's just going to turn into Enron on me, or GoPro. Bastard.
Well, so like I said, Nvidia is not a normal stock, so it may not actually see a sell-off on that split. And that because it's not normal. Normally, on a spike in euphoria like this, you're going to get some kind of a peel back. I'd rather go with the odds because I like odds. I'm an odds guy. If the odds are that most stocks like this have a euphoric spike will then peel back, then I'm going to sell that euphoric spike. Now, this one, if you did that, it may keep on going up. I don't know. When it comes to the blue sky stock, LOAR, it's in a great sector too. It's aerospace and defense, which is exactly where you want to be. It's almost. This kind of reminds me of AV, which is a stock that we picked off of 100 points ago, and now it's 200. It's like $200 a share now. This is something that I think we initially got into this thing at $75 a share, and then our latest buy was at like 150, and now it's like 200 or something.
Yeah, 190. Yeah, it's 196.65. AV.
Yeah, so you're 196. That they make drones, and so that was a good call there. And we're at war with everyone on the planet, and so it looks like and we're not sending soldiers anywhere. We're just doing drones. By the way, there's they run a lot of the drones right out of a Air Force base over here that we ride by when we're going on our motorcycles up to like Mount Charleston out here. So it's this funky place where there's like here's an Air Force base, right, that doesn't have like any planes at it. Okay, go figure. It looks almost abandoned, right?
Yeah,
and that's because these guys go to work there, and they go underground into a fortified underground bunker,
right?
and they basically are sitting there on video machines running drones all over the world. How freaky is that, man?
No, it is. It's really amazing. That's what I was thinking of NVIDIA. I was watching the story with NVIDIA, because obviously I just think back to Terminator, all the drones and, NVIDIA and the computers are training the computers and all these things. And then NVIDIA is now, this just juggernaut. And I was watching just the history of it. And it reminded me of like when they had when NVIDIA kind of just fizzled. They thought they were going to go bankrupt almost when they tried to do Sega and whatnot. They just didn't have. They were just like two guys just trying to do this thing, and then they revamped it and they came out with that GeForce chip, and now they're in the drones, and now the drones are doing the drones, and it's just
hey. So the continued demand for NVIDIA's products. Trader Z wanted me to share this with everybody. We were talking last night, and he said, all you have to do is look at what Amazon's building right now.
Okay.
And then now Meta. Now, these are two companies that have all the money on the planet, right?
Yeah.
So you look at Meta. Meta is building something, and everybody thinks that Amazon there's rumors and stuff out there about how, Amazon is slowing down their purchase of sort of NVIDIA chips for their, thing that they're building. And here's the deal. They kind of are for the moment,
right?
Like for the moment, because they're waiting for NVIDIA's like next generation, which is coming very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And when that is available, they will buy it all. They are building the largest AI-driven supercomputer on Earth. And they will buy all of the chips they can get their hands on, which are NVIDIA chips. So the continued demand for what NVIDIA is doing is off the chain. And so this is
around. I'm looking around for my tinfoil because I want to put my tinfoil on. Well, I just start to think of the next thing I'm looking for. Like I gotta have tinfoil down here. Jen brings me my food down and puts it in tinfoil, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to do this. But I'm thinking I'm talking. Get my tinfoil hat. Because here's what my theory is.
You know what Jen ought to do? She ought to bring a baseball bat down there and hit you over the head.
No. It's in tinfoil because I don't ever get to eat it, and it just sits here and gets cold. So look, without my wife, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So, but anyways, let me tell you my dang story. Yeah, no, that's true. So my issue is they bring it out to the public for AI, right? And they get us playing with it and see what Bart can make out of this weird, goofy stuff to get us used to it. That way, behind the scenes, they're doing all this big, huge stuff with the AI, but we like it because we get to make our sentences sound smarter. So we let everything else go because it can clean up my bad grammar for an email. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives us this ability to get institutionalized. Does that make sense?
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is when some guy's talking and we have these guys that they think that maybe I go to these meetings and these guys say spent a couple of days in jail, so they think they're all gangster now, right? Now they think they're all from the hood, right? Godfather.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now just so everybody knows, Godfather and I actually did grow up in the hood, so we know what a real gangster is, right? So these are these idiots that think they're all gangster now when they're actually suburban white kids. It's hilarious. And they come, they go, so my girlfriend is, know what I'm saying? And they always end everything every sentence is with know what I'm saying. So I just started answering them. I'm like, yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm right here. And then then my girlfriend called the police on me. Know what I'm saying? I go, I know what you're saying. I'm like, I can hear you. I'm right here.
No, it was great because I guess that was your way of saying that my story was a little downhill, and then your story went off a cliff. So I don't know how we can go down.
He
from
said,
there. So we might
I like when they say things like, what's up, dog? And I go, no, nothing's up, and I'm not a dog, So
well, for me, it's
that's a fake.
brother's probably the hardest one. Very few people I call brother. It means something. So I'm like, look,
Hey,
I don't know you, man. I'm sorry.
No, that does mean something.
Because it usually means someone's trying to get in your back wallet, or because it's something we keep that very sacred. The people that we call brothers, but I understand.
All right, so I was going to tell you another thing that. Oh yeah. All right, so two things. So first of all, Monday MNDY has been showing up all over the system. So same with like Netflix. Something that I think, solar, we thought solar was going to come around a while back. We went into it. It didn't follow through. Now it looks like it might. Solar's come back alive, says Trader Z. I'm looking at my text right now from him. And FSLR, I think, went up 35 points yesterday. It was pretty big. And there's basically two positions that we'll probably be putting on. It is about 6, 10, 11, 12, 6, 12. We're about 15 whatever minutes away from the open. If you're a subscriber, you're going to get this. You're going to get these two positions that we're going to put on. If you're not, sign up now. You got 17, 18 minutes or whatever to get this before we put it out. Our family of traders pay us to do our job. And so they're going to get the trades. If you're here and you're not a subscriber, you ain't getting a trade because they deserve it. And that's how we roll, okay? They say no free lunch on Wall Street. No free trading. No soup for you.
I tell you what.
These are two beasts. These are two beasts that Trader Z likes and that he just hit me with. And he goes, okay, do this one and do this one. And so we're going to do that. But the gift I'm giving you is that solar is alive. And
wow, I was going to ask you about that, Dutch. I actually had the heat index kind of pulled up right here. Look at 13%. It went up 13% yesterday. And I know there she is right there. Look at down there. It's a little bit too small. So 13%. So definitely a huge section.
Yep.
Solar. Would like to have made that bigger, but is what it is. So, all right. So there you go. So that's gonna also for our subscribers. Make sure that you keep an eye out tomorrow. Tomorrow is usually when we do our sector rotation. That's when you give us the info for that. Right, that comes out.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is tomorrow we're going to take the rest of the positions down that are in the building, construction, and infrastructure sector that we have been in. And just so everybody knows what we do there, this is an easy way to basically try to get 30 to 60% returns a year by trading 10 minutes every Friday. So all you do is on Friday, we will go into a sector that Trader Z likes. We'll go into the sector with anywhere between 20 to 40 stocks to start with, okay? And so let's say we have 40 stocks. The next week, we'll probably take 5 or 6 off and reallocate those losers, okay, into the ones that are winning. And then we'll do the same thing again the next Friday. But there's no trading in between. You don't have to sit and stare at your screen. Everybody on the planet can follow this. They're all quality. This isn't weird stocks. This isn't, small penny market cap. This is really, really good companies. And then over the course of a month to 2 months, we will take that 40 stock position down to a number like 12. And by the time that we're down to the final anywhere from 8 to 15 that we sit with, those will all be the stocks that are really leading, that are really running, that are really making us all the money. Our idea and our goal when we started this, we've been doing this for forever, but rolling it out to the carnivores is we want to make 3 to 5% a month, and make it really simple to follow, and make it something that financial advisors can go into, that they can do with their books, where they're not going to get flagged for over trading. And everybody can do this, okay? And if you think about it, if you've got a retirement account and you've got a couple $100,000 in there and you're making 30 or 40%, and you're doing that kind of consistently every year, we're going to be rotating from one sector to another,
right?
Maybe 4 times to 6 times a year. That's not too much frequency. This is a great way. One guy we talked to said that he runs a fair amount of money in the model portfolio and takes his profits every month from the model portfolio and throws it into the sector rotation program, because he doesn't have to monitor the sector rotation program, except every Friday he just does the changes.
That's right.
And it takes him 10, 15 minutes. And he says, I can put $10 million into the sector rotation program and not lose any sleep and not sweat. It's diversified enough. I don't have to watch every position. It's not moving so fast, that I have to, freak out about it. So he focuses on a smaller amount of money, his $1 million over in the model portfolio. And then, he gets another 100, 200,000 in profits for a month, throws it over into that one and just keeps that $1 million going and generating profits for him. So he's building his wealth over here in a program that he'll be able to stick with and manage comfortably and calmly over the rest of his life. So,
and it also makes it good too, because I think we were talking about in the in the VIP group that we have for those that went out to the academy, which if you haven't gone, you should go to the next one. But people that have gone out there, we were talking about that there's so much research that you all do, that everyone in Carnivore does, to get some of these stocks that we know that they're just going to keep going up, and we know that they're great companies like Nvidia. I think we started Nvidia a long time ago, or Duolingo, and all these things. Like my wife even brought it up, made her first comment in the group yesterday. She's like, the stocks, when they have such conviction on, and that they've done so much research, she wants to buy those, but she doesn't want to sell them. So that's why she still has Nvidia that's up 800% or whatever she is, or Duolingo. So the longer term portfolios that we're now have the products for is really beneficial for a lot of people that don't want to trade and that really appreciate the research that Carnivore does. And they're like, man, I never would have found these companies. Like, think of some of the companies we've brought up that nobody would have heard of, but now they would have. SMCI is the number one. Nobody knew what an SMCI was. We traded it for like 3 months and we didn't know what it was. Z knew what it was. I think you've maybe figured it out towards the end what it was, but Z was the only one. He's like, I'm telling you, it's a gajillion-dollar company, and I think that's what it is. Right under that.
Yeah, I remember when he talked to me about that, and I said, what the hell is this? And he says, cheapest semiconductor company on the planet. And I said, why do I want to buy a cheap semiconductor company? I mean, it means they're a bunch of losers. He goes, no. He goes, they're moving into the AI area, and they're going to be like feeding stuff to Nvidia, and they have a good collaboration there, and nobody knows about it. and I'm like, okay, all right, and sure enough, but
and now it's a household name everywhere, and
right.
I've never heard of that before Carnivore. So, anyways, we're about 5 minutes away from opening market. I just want to say thank you everybody for going on. I don't know, Dutch, do we have anything else we need to?
I want to let everybody know I'm actually I'm going to put out the 2 positions that we're going to open up here right now. Hold on a second. I got to see my. And so that's going to be going out to subscribers. So if you signed up, you're going to get them. And good luck, everybody. Look, we're going to have a boomer day. This is going to be a rock and roll party on Wall Street today. Let's hope it carries through into Friday and into the weekend. Everybody can eat some steak. Everybody can get on their chopper. They can ride up Las Vegas Boulevard to the finest steakhouse in America, get some steak with a dangerous woman on the back.
Hey, good news is we only have one Fed speaker today too, and that's not till 3 o'clock. So
there's a Fed tard that's going to talk today.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Which Fed tard?
Bostic speaks at 3.
Oh, he's the worst.
I know, but we got till. That's why I said we've got till 3 o'clock, boys, girls.
That's
boys,
right,
friends. We have till 3 o'clock. Let's make.
Yeah, so 2:59. Sell and get the hell out of your office.
I'm gone. See you guys. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you,
everybody.
Dutch. Thank you. God bless you all. See you,
Bless
Carnivores.